Okay, let's go to the next one here, and let's put this up there on the screen. So we had to have a little UFO tie-in, and a lot of my UFO friends were talking quite a bit about this, which is that the previous UFO report actually specifically pointed to foreign powers who were aerial spying, and specifically the possibility of Chinese and Russian balloons, which had previously entered the United States. However, I do want to kind of break this down and talk a little bit about it, because some people were saying, actually, this vindicates the fact that all these UFO incidents are really just Chinese spy balloons or Russian spy balloons or, spy aircraft or drones or whatever of some kind. First of all, many of the incidents that have occurred and happened on camera are ones which don't appear to have nearly the same, let's just say, propulsion as a normal balloon, not necessarily propulsion known to humankind. That also, though, what many people were talking about is they were pointing to the fact that when they know that it's a Chinese balloon, they can say when they know it's Chinese compared to when they pretend that it's something else, it gets wall-to-wall coverage, it gets a statement of condemnation, the cancellation of the visits, and a clear identification. Where in the past, what they have pointed to is they're like, well, maybe it's Chinese or maybe it's Russian. Well, clearly, what do we learn from this balloon? It has Chinese letters on the side. So, it's at 60,000 feet. So clearly, if it's a Chinese balloon, it's not that hard to figure out that it's a Chinese balloon. I'm going to presume the same with Russian, and probably the same with American spy balloons. So kind of the UFO takeaway that my friend Jeremy Corbell highlighted was that if you think about what it's like when an actual spy balloon overflies the United States and our ability to clearly and almost immediately identify it, if they were able to do that in the past with respect to hundreds now of UFO incidents, they would, because it's actually not that hard to attribute whether these things are or not. And I think the second part to this is, and this gets to what I alluded to earlier, I think one of the only reasons that we even know about the last couple of balloons is because of a lot of interest in the UFO phenomenon, UAPs, and because the whole push for transparency was, hey guys, we have all this data, but nobody's analyzing it. Nobody's really looking on at what's going on up there. There's a lot of pilots over the years who have reported sketchy things going on. Most of the time they were encouraged to just sit down and to not talk about it. And so one of the reasons why we're able to say, oh, one crashed 4 months ago or it happened during the Trump administration, well, 2017 is when this whole thing even broke open. That's whenever we were even trying to start paying attention to the skies. And actually part of the push for the whole transparency was, you don't know what else you're going to find up there. Yeah. That's what a lot, Marco Rubio and other UFO transparency figures who've been pushing for it, their whole case has been, this is a matter of national security, as we just found out. I really do believe, and look, I don't have a lot of evidence, this is just a hunch based on what I've read on this and everything. I think if this happens in 2015, this thing flies over and we have no idea. I really do. It's possible not, but
I think not, just because people on the ground in Montana were like, what the hell is this? And there was the ground stop at the airport in Montana, but who knows? I mean, you have the numbers here. Since 2021, the Pentagon has examined 366 incidents that were initially unexplained and said 163 were balloons, so not anywhere close to all of those. And they say a handful of those involved advanced surveillance balloons, but none of them were conducting persistent reconnaissance of U.S. military bases. They also say, though, that a lot of times if the U.S. government immediately identifies this as a spy balloon, well, of course, that's not included in the unidentified aerial phenomenon tracking. So it does, this report does raise a lot of questions of like, okay, we're learning about like this incident now and maybe like 3 max incidents during the Trump administration, but this report suggests that there was a lot more going on than even what is being reported at this point happened during the Trump administration and happened now. They also say that of the 171 reports that were not attributed to balloons, drones, or airborne trash, some, quote, appear to have demonstrated unusual flight characteristics or performance capabilities and require further analysis. To your point, Saagar, of like, when it's a balloon, they can tell it's a freaking balloon. It's not that hard for them to be able to figure it out. Maybe someone who's untrained initially is like, what the hell was that? Right. But then once they actually do the research, it was not particularly difficult for them to figure out it was a weather balloon, a spy balloon, whatever.
There you go. So there's the UFO angle for everybody.
Had to get that in. Yeah. Hey guys, ready or not, 2024 is fully upon us now, and Saagar and I have been brainstorming ways that we can really up our game for this critical election.
Yeah, we rely on our premium subs to expand our coverage, to add staff, to upgrade the studio. We just want to give you the best independent coverage of this election, which is possible. So if you can help us out, become a premium subscriber today, breakingpoints.com, or the link is down here in the description video. It really means the world to us. And if you like what we're all about, this is the best possible way to keep us 100% independent, working only for you.